Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. In God we trust. Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, Friday date night, every Monday night, yes, every Wednesday night. You know, that's how we do. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, 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 welcome. Here I am. You know, this is what I do. Y'all got to bear with me. I know we running late today. I'm out of town. I'm in Philly. But guess what? We live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right? And I got some special guests who's going to be joining me today. Rose is one of them, correct?
Yes.
Miss Rose?
Yes.
Miss Rose, where you from?
Manchester, Connecticut.
Manchester, Connecticut?
Yeah.
Okay. And as we be moving forward and everybody be joining in, I know, again, I apologize for us being late, but it's something very important going on. It's voting time. It's voting time, and we got some serious conversation. When I tell you, I know that they've been noticing that people to people, man, we've been all over the place, but it's a lot of real serious information going on, being shared, things we got to get in touch with. I mean, it's just so much. And here I am live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm not going to be, really talking about exactly our locations, but we are in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I have some guests that's coming on. I got Miss Rose that's on here with me right now, and you say you're from Connecticut?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been down here in Philadelphia?
4 months.
4 months?
Yes.
Okay, so what is it that you do here?
I came to help my union campaign, get out and canvass to make sure that everybody here in Philadelphia votes. We've been knocking on doors and talking to people about the importance of this election.
That's right, and everybody has to know how important voting is. How do you feel about voting?
It's important to me. I believe in democracy. Okay, I believe that it's our right. It's our privilege to get out there and vote. It's very important to me. I did my absentee ballot because, I have been here for 4 months. So the day I got it, put it in the mail. I want my vote to count. I'm here for the last 4 months doing this because I believe in this.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Basically, for the young people that's out there that really don't understand how important voting is, what is it that you would tell some of the young people?
Well, first of all, it's like this. It's our right, and we don't want to lose this right. So just remember, your opinion, your choice, it does make your decision makes. It helps. We need to. I don't even know at this point. We need to just stress to them that they're going to make the difference down the road. Years after we're done, they're still going to be around voting. We need this to never end. The way they would like it to end, people would like it to end. We don't need this to end. We need our choice, our voices to be heard.
And that's what I always say. We all have a choice and a voice, and that's really important. I noticed something that you was a little reluctant to say, though, when you were saying it makes a difference. I saw you hesitate with that. So do you how you feel like, because there's many people that feel like that,
Yes.
that, right? They feel like voting, it doesn't mean anything. How you doing there, Angela Gomez from Arizona? How you doing, sweetheart? One of our dedicated listeners. I love you. Peace and blessings to you. We got this is a very, very important program today. We was running a little behind because we've been out canvassing and trying to get people to understand the importance of voting. And I don't care who you vote for. It's important that you vote.
Absolutely.
That's where now a lot of people will have the impression, and Ms. Rose, I saw you was a little hesitant. They would feel like, okay, well, you know what? It don't matter.
Right.
But it does matter.
No, it does. And I told them last election, 37,000 people did not vote, and that was by mail. So we can't have that again. We just can't, because you know what? Then they'll say to me, well, I don't like what goes on. And I say, well, then you can't say anything. If you didn't take the initiative to get out there and vote, then you can't complain. But your voice does matter. One vote makes a difference, believe it or not. And it changes things. And that's what I tell them.
And that's something that we as an individual, we have to understand that no matter what, your vote do count. Okay, so it's imperative. I had the opportunity to come up here, and I have a whole different perspective on how this is going. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's just really important to me. Come on, Mr. Tony, come on, just sit right in, just jump right in. This is another individual down here that's doing some stuff. I'm so excited to have these two guests to come on. I was really, really hoping that I was going to get a handful of individuals, because it's hundreds of people that's out here promoting the voting. Mr. Tony, can you tell our guests a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Hey, first of all, let me say thank you for being here, right? My name is Tony. I'm from Baltimore. I work down at the convention center there. Been with United here for, in the union for about 30 years or so. Been working for 39. And had a chance to go around to different states, helping out our members in the union there also. Voting is so important. And because we have members in different states, we go and help one another out. That's what we have to do. This is like working America, helping working Americans. We are the ones who live in the community. So we have a better way of communicating to them. So we get out to vote, go and let people know that we've done our homework, done our research. And so we know the people that we want to put in office that help us. Hospitality was one of the industries that was that took a real loss. Over 250,000 workers in America took a loss during the pandemic. Very serious numbers there. So, but slowly but surely, we held on. We persevered through it. We out fighting a good fight now, trying to continue doing what we know that we have to do. That's what gives us strength to carry on, I think. What makes us feel good about what we're doing also. So it just gives me great pleasure to be with my members and out, making a positive move. I keep dropping these things. I need these here, by the way. Making a positive effort to not just sit down and be a part of the problem, but be a part of the solution. Don't complain and don't do anything. You got to get up. We have to do something about, making change. Change is inevitable, but if we don't do nothing, we don't get anything. So, nothing from nothing leaves nothing, right? So it's just great to just speak to y'all there.
That's what's so important about this whole situation right now. It is very important that we make a difference. Let me tell you something. People should be right now calling people, telling them, say, look, you got to get out and vote. But with people to people, that's what we do. We bring the information about what's going on in the community, and it's all over. We represent the DMV, but we also represent the United States of America. I'm saying we represent what goes on in this country. And what we know that's very important is voting. It is imperative that you get out and vote. Your voice does make a difference. So you were just saying, and I was talking to you about, the situation and how important it is for people to vote, right?
Yes.
So we got a lot of young people who feel like that they have no voice at all.
But after you talk to them a little while and tell them, hey, do you like how things are going? They'll tell you something they don't like about their state or what's going on. And I tell them, you want change? Get out there. Be heard. If it means you have to go down to your town hall, if it means you got to go to your governor, your senator, you got to write them, you got to call them, you got to. That's the only way anything's going to happen. There's ever going to be a change is if you get out there and get heard.
I mean, and this is something that here I took the opportunity to come and get involved. Now, we're not going to talk about candidates or nothing like that, but what we're going to talk about is voting. And let me tell you something. It don't matter who you vote for as long as you vote. That's what's very important. And one of the things that I realized is that a lot of people feel like, okay, my vote don't count. But it does. It does. See, your vote don't count if you don't vote. What you say, Tony? Huh?
Yeah.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So if you don't vote, then it don't count.
Right.
So you just can't sit around and not do nothing. You got to be involved in what we're doing. People gave their lives just so we could do this.
Yes.
And for us to just turn around and say, oh, I'm not going to vote. You got to be kidding. When I say gave their lives, I mean, we weren't allowed to do this. We couldn't just walk up there and vote. Women weren't even allowed to hardly do it. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all heard of Susan B. Anthony. You heard of Harriet Tubman. These women were fighting so hard to make sure that we have the capability and be able to vote. That, oh my God, I just for us to just stop right now, and for us grown-ups, look, we got issues. This women's right issue is a 60-year-old issue.
Come on, man.
I would like to apologize to all the young folks because we teach our children one thing and we're supposed to conduct ourselves in another way. That doesn't look like we backing up what we said. So, that also gives me great pleasure to be able to have our young people with us in our union that also see that we have dignity and respect, and not just to talk about it, but to be about it. So when they see you doing it, they'll know that's the right things to do. And it sets a point where, you're trying to let them know, look, even though things are hard, never get tired of doing what's right. So that's what we're doing. You agree with me on it, Dan?
I do.
That's my part. I love seeing the young folks there.
I do too. I actually,
yeah.
You know what? And once they get out there or they register, or you sign them up and register them, you should see they're happy, they're proud that they did that, and it's like, God, you feel good, you don't need a pat on the back because at the end we're going to win.
Yeah. But this is something that really gets me, and I wanted to bring this, and this is something Tony just said. Okay, so we talking about voting. How do you feel as a woman and a white woman that we know that many, many years ago that they didn't even allow you to vote, right? But now we talking about not just white women, we talking about women of all nationalities in this country.
Yes.
See, one of the things that a lot of people want to think that it was certain people that had certain privileges that really wasn't true. You see, you got to realize something. Just like her and many other women, white, black, Asian, whatever, they had to fight. They had to fight for the right to be able to speak and make their voice count. Now, I say that to say that now we're talking about young people from all nationalities. You have to get into the point where you understand who's running for office, who is making the decisions, and hold them accountable. Me, as a black American, a veteran, I have to be responsible with my actions as well. I've run into a lot, and Tony, you can relate to this. I've run into a lot of black men who say, "Man, it don't matter."
Oh my God!
Talk to me about that.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Look, first of all, I'm going to be real hard on the black men. First of all, they need to see us out in the communities, not just sitting home. I think some of us have forgotten that we also were once kids. We were also like the kids that we go and talk to. We have to go back in the communities. We have to be that Mr. Frank and that Miss Lucille, Miss Mary. And we still have to let our kids know that it's important while we do these things and how they matter in these situations also. Not just talk about the kids ain't doing this, the kids ain't doing that. I want our men. You want to impress me? Come with us. Go out in the community with us. The men, I'm asking you, come out. Go in the community with us. Have the heart to stand up. Martin, when he was out, he was in the community. That was a man. I like that man. He was in the community. John Lewis, as he said, getting into some good trouble. They were in the community. So that's what we have to do. Go back into community, talk to our folks. Don't forget where we come from, because, some of us, had not it been for some of those folks, we would not be here. So let's not forget that. And that's what they need. We got some issues where we need to be apologizing to our children.
Yeah.
That, I asked a kid one day, do you know Bill Clinton was? The kid said, you mean the man who lied? I was embarrassed. But the kid was being honest. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's how they knew that grown-up as. But we teach our kids one way, and then the grown-ups go and show them another way. You can't show them a little thing like a lie, because that's why they remember. The kid didn't even remember the name. Didn't remember the man who lied. And that's not good. When you see candidates on television bickering with one another, that makes those kids seem like, look how these grown-ups act.
Yes.
Again, we try to tell them to do one way, we go act another way.
I mean, when you think about that, that's funny though. We will come and we will get on the children about the way they conduct themselves, but yet what we do is we conduct ourselves inappropriately many times as well. And that's one of the things that we gotta be conscious about, because you know what? Practice what you preach. Practice what you teach. Be an example and be a leader. And you don't have to be on top of a stage or in the front of the pulpit somewhere where you make a difference. But where you do have to make a difference is by the actions. I'm looking at a woman like this who's out here not afraid to stand up for her rights, not afraid to come out here and speak for all the other women, not afraid to speak for all the other young men and older men. I'm talking about us collectively.
Side by side. I'm telling you, side by side. Do you understand that?
That's what.
See, it's not about your race, your creed, or your color. Or your color. It's the context of your color. And that one man who said that was so truthful when he said that. How you present yourself. We should be presenting ourselves as grown-ups with dignity and respect. And that's what you want to teach your kids. Take it with you. You won't die from it. It's a thing that I think we ought to take to the door. When we go talk to folks in the community, I like to see young folks. I can see the fear in them because they haven't practiced how to be sociable. So those are some of the respectful things that we have to get back in the community and teach our children how to be respectful. You know, how to talk to, our elderly folks with dignity and respect. It'll make them feel good. It was something that my father said to me a long time ago. You won't die from it. You do know that, don't you, Tony? And I just tried it out, and it's been, he said to me, my parents said to me, take it everywhere you go. Dignity and respect. And I thank them today. They have passed away, but if they were here, I would like for y'all to say, well, how was Tony? I want y'all to say, well, you know what, he was a nice young man with dignity and respect. You understand what I mean? Yes. Things like that. And that type of moral and character, we have to instill them back into our community, into our kids. They are our future. You know what I mean? Parents also used to say, if we don't, watch out for the elders too. So we're going to be those elders. And those kids are going to be the one that will supposedly watch after us. You understand me? Well, don't y'all get scared right yet, all right?
and so, I mean, when you think about it, when you think about this, and I'm talking again from different perspectives because you've been out in the trenches right now. Oh. What is some of your concerns that with our future, what's going on?
I think number one, we need to do more for the people in these situations like housing. Okay, it's a big thing here. I see too many people living in awful conditions. I mean, they don't pick up the trash around here. They live like that. I even suggested maybe instead of us canvassing every day in neighborhoods, why don't we take one day to go maybe talk to the neighbors and, hey, let's help clean up your street. You know what? If we can knock on doors, we can also help a community. You know what? We're not going to do it all in a day. We're not. But we're taking the first steps. We're showing them that we care, not just about what we're doing, but about them too. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here, So I think that's a thing, you know?
I like it, the fact where you were saying, just to get out and to do something actually in the community. Now, when she said here, you got to realize we're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania right now. I can tell you all over the country, we have poverty, we have situations going on. So it ain't just in Philly that people are struggling. Mm-hmm. Don't get that impression. It's all over. Yeah. And so we got different areas. We just happen to be recording right now live in Philly, and we are looking at some of the situations. And let me tell you something. Something else I want to bring up that's so important right now. We are in a pandemic and listen what I said, a pandemic where we got young people are killing people like it's nothing. It's almost like they are killing roaches. Like they don't have no remorse at all. How you feel about that?
I'm gonna tell you right now, none of these kids, if you would line up 100 of them, know who Smith and Wesson is. They don't know who Luger is. They don't know who all these gun makers are. I don't know how they are able to go in the communities and have all these guns in the neighborhood. You can actually go into the community and buy guns in the box. I've even tested to see if that was true. And the boy would say, "Hey, Mr. Tony, I got one." I'm looking at the kid like, "What you really?" I'm going, "Yo, Benji, man." And this was one of my favorite kids. I was so astonished. This was brand new. So we got to figure out how that's happened, first of all. These kids are not just, they're not arms dealers. And for all these guns to be in the neighborhood, AK-47s and stuff like that, they're not making these either. So these are purposely coming into the communities, just like demographic racism. They come in certain neighborhoods to cause certain chaos in these neighborhoods, and it doesn't stop because if you don't have these weapons out of the neighborhood, then, they used to tell me when I was younger, if you have a weapon on you, then you're going to use it. You don't know how to use it. You only have no business with it. But because you have it on you, that person becomes that more dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And young people, it's not a toy. So how all these guns have gotten into our communities over the year, that just bothers me right there. I don't want to say what my suspicion is. Boy, I like to say, government, excuse me, I something like that. But do you understand how that feels? You know what I mean? And they seem to be making their way into certain neighborhoods. So just like they take funding from the neighborhoods who need them on purpose, because they take funding from those neighborhoods so that they don't flourish. They cut programs. We have a program called Hospitality Academy, where we take this program into communities, right to that kid, just sitting on the corner. He might be drinking beer or smoking weed. We're not God. So I don't come to judge you. What we come to do is bring some inspiration and something that might help you, to show you that somebody who even looks like you have been through maybe what you've been through, but dust itself off, picked itself up, and kept on going. Another day to come back to actually give to those who may not have the chance to. So that's the part that I think is very important. If we start doing more of that, that's where you start to show love for the folks in the community. That's when you start to define, I'm a man. Because I be hearing such men say, hey ladies, look, you hear me, I'm talking. I'm hard on the men. Because that's what we want. Even when I look at the candidate, I don't look at him as if he's just some candidate. I'm a man just like he is. I work for a living, you understand? We earn our living, just like our folks that came before them. And that, to me, defines that man and his character and how that man should be looked at. So that's what you want to bring in the communities to our young people also, that's so important. That way, maybe we can get these guns and stuff, we just got to come up with some solution for these guns in the neighborhood. Just today, 9 murders in Philadelphia, just today.
And that's what I'm talking about. Here we are live in Philadelphia. This is People to People with Rodney Grimes. You already know how we roll down in DMV. We are all about talking about the truth. We're talking about the solutions, things that need to be done. Here, I'm going to tell you something. It's Motivation Monday. I am so honored to have my guests in. Again, Rose, right? Rose, where you from again?
Manchester, Connecticut.
And then Connecticut rising, baby.
Yeah, I already know. And then
Baltimore,
Mr. Tony.
Maryland, you already know how we do. I need y'all to just get yourself together too in Baltimore, because this is ridiculous. It's just like Philly. It's just a different city. And every time I go to a different city and see these same characteristics, do you know how angry I get? We get a chance to go from city to city. I have seen the same thing in each city. From Seattle with the tent people in Seattle, Washington, to Phoenix, out in the desert in Marion County, to Memphis. Well, oh my God, Martin Luther King must be turning in his grave not too far from where his last sermon on the top. That community is a gated community with housing so poor. Yeah, I got a chance to see that. Yes, you can't make this stuff up. It's like, it's like my parents used to say, you're not in Kansas now, right? No, this is not the Wizard of Oz. This is the real things, and I mean, it's just got to change. These things, it shouldn't be similarities like this in each one of our cities.
We have Lady Z. Go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all already know Lady Z is she's doing. Yeah. Go ahead and do the reading. Go do the reading, Lady Z. Come on.
Katrina McMurray wants to know, where is he from? He needs to get booked for schools to speak wisdom unto their breakthrough for real.
Yes, actually, believe it or not, again, Tony is from Baltimore and Miss Rose is from Connecticut. And it's over here in Philly. I mean, there's hundreds of people over here. I try to stay true to what I do, Motivation Monday, Let's Talk About It Wednesday, and we're talking about Date Night Friday. But what we wanted to do was to come to you and bring just a couple of individuals who didn't mind speaking and just talking about how important it is for us to get out here and vote, how important it is for us to get and make a difference. And I'm talking about, this is what's so amazing. When I'm looking at the individuals that I have met some phenomenal people. Yeah. It's changed my perspective on so much. And I'm talking about, when I tell you something, we are so adamant about pointing the finger at other people. Hey, when you point the finger, look at how many fingers is going back to you. Look at how many fingers are pointing back at you. And this is what I'm talking about in our neighborhoods. Rose, you said when we can get out there, and we probably could just do a little something, to help clean up neighborhoods and just start by going out. And what I like about that is when you do that, you're giving back to the community. And you're coming and you're hands-on.
Yes.
So it's not where you out telling somebody what to do.
Because I feel like when we go and we canvass in the neighborhoods, we're just going there for something. And I don't want them to feel like that. So that's why I suggested that maybe we go back to these communities and help out them and pull them in as neighbors. And you know what? Now they'll see we just don't want something. We're there not just to get votes. We're there to give back. And you know what? To listen, because a lot of times that's what it is they need. They need someone to hear them. They need somebody to see them. They need somebody just to talk to. A lot of communities are like that. You knock on a door, and I've had people that were 87, 97 years old, and you know what? They're so happy to see somebody. They'll keep you there. Wow. They don't want you to go. Wow. They'll tell you, oh, I live alone, and I don't have anyone to talk to. Yeah. And you know what? It's tough because I'm here and I gotta go, but I gotta take the time to pay attention to this lady or this gentleman, you know what I mean? They need that. So I feel like just listening a little bit.
It matters.
It does to them.
And that's what, for us, I would tell you, that is so, again, we have to get to a point where we're taking everything serious. We have to get to a point where we're making a difference. That's what we do at People to People. The podcast is for the people. Your voice that matters. I'm letting you know that as we move forward, as we've been talking to different individuals, man, it is imperative that we really get out here and make a difference. If you got some grandchildren, you better start thinking about how to groom them and show them and prepare them about voting, about finding out who they're putting in office, and let them know that they can run for office too. It's not just because somebody say that it's politics. Okay, we're not talking politics. We talk about responsibility. We're talking about responsibility for each other. I am responsible for this woman right here, and she is responsible for me, and she's responsible for this man right here, and we are responsible for each other. We have to come together, and we have to make a difference. And this is it's just something that's really important for everybody to just joining in. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. That's my slogan. People to people, what is that? That's me, you, and them. Them being whoever it may be. Power to power, the power you possess, the power we possess, the power we possess together. Okay, the power they possess. Okay, and when we bring that power together, especially when it's a group of individuals trying to do something positive, what do we become? We become positive thinking people, PTP. I mean, I am so excited. Again, as always, y'all already know how I do. Anywhere that I go live. Monday is Motivation Monday. Yeah, Wednesday is Let's Talk About It Wednesday. And Friday is Date Night. Now, you already know how we do on Date Night. That's fun time. But when it comes down to Motivation Monday, we want to talk about things. And I'm going to tell you, Ms. Rose, you are motivating many, many other women. Yes. You motivated even my wife.
And men.
And men.
That's been my riding partner through the struggle. That when we get up in the morning, we gotta encourage each other. You know what I mean?
Yes, we do.
That's what it is too. We almost like how you go to church for inspiration. Well, we gotta keep that same inspiration when we go out into the communities and stuff like. Because it's going into the trenches. Yes. One time, my family said to me, I left one way, but when I came back, I was another way. They said I was angry, and I had to think about me being angry because I was. When I sit down, because it makes me emotional too. When I sit down and I knocked on this 75-year-old lady who told me she had just retired and she was scared to come out of her community, I could feel that was the first time she had a chance to sit on her step. And it was while I was talking to her. And it reminded me, it made me mad. It didn't make me scared or anything. I'm like, so now our elderly can work all their life. Hold up. And now, when they're retired, they can't come outside and enjoy the fruits of their labor. If you tell me who getting scared, I'm mad about that. That's what I am, mad about it. Mad in a way where you gotta do something. Every time I feel like I want to stop. Like I said, I've been working 39 years, but I can't stop. I asked one of our civil rights farm leaders worker. I said, aren't you tired? She's like 91. She said, are they still doing it? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, then I can't stop. So we had to keep on because of that. When I seen that lady, she made me feel like I can't stop. What you mean? Our elderly can't come outside, enjoy the fruits of their labor because they scared that they might take a stray bullet from in the community. Everybody should come out of their house in the community when you got something going on. It should be nobody in the house sitting and watching TV like everything is okay in the community. The whole community should be out there saying that we're not going to have this in our community, and that's what it takes. That's what I say about the men. You need to come on out. Look, I watch football too. Come out in the community. Let's see if we can get some tackles out here, okay? We need to go out here. You need to come out of your house. We need to tell these kids, we're not having this in our community. Some of these kids, they're your kids in the community. You know what I mean? And some of us act like we see, but we don't see.
Right.
No. I don't have to be the friend of my kid. All right, I'm the one who raised them. I'm the one who take care of them. So those of us who act like we can't do that, I don't care if you got wealth or not. I don't have no whole lot of wealth. I had to work for what I got. It's not that what you have, it's how you do it. How you go about doing it. We have responsibilities. So that's what you got to do. Step up to the plate as grown-ups and go out there and talk to these kids. Don't let them go astray out there like that. They are going astray. In Baltimore, in Philadelphia, it looks like the same city to me. Connecticut too. You right? See my friend Connecticut too. You can't make this up.
No.
So no. It's
There's
just
streets in every community.
Yeah, it's too much. New York with her, with Mayor Adams. Oh my God, I wouldn't even took that job.
That's something that we got to really, again, we got to make sure that we bring to the forefront. We got to let people know that this is serious. The guns are not just dropping out of the sky. We gotta make sure that our people that we put into office are being accountable for their actions and find out how these guns are getting into the neighborhood. Let me tell you something. It's sad that right now that we have a pandemic of a whole bunch of young kids getting killed. Getting killed and doing the killing. And what's happening is we're destroying our democracy. We're destroying our safety. We're destroying our future. And it's imperative that we make a difference. It's individuals like Ms. Rose and Mr. Tony and many, many other people. Even, as y'all know, Lady Z been missing in action where she's been down here putting her work in, doing what she do. Here, they even messed around and got me down here. Okay?
Welcome aboard.
They got me down here.
So much too.
Yeah. So again.
A couple of comments.
Okay.
Katrina also, she says, thank you, pretty lady, pretty woman. I'm sick of people trashing God's green earth. There's another, hold on. Rachel Pope says, Sir Rod, run for president. Katrina says, those guns coming from black market and the government knows the truth.
I didn't want to say it, but
Well, yeah, This is people that are making comments. They're speaking the truth. They're speaking their truth. They're speaking their feelings. Yo, everything that comes from people to people on the People to People podcast, let me tell you something. We just helping to give the people the opportunity to have a voice to speak their mind. So it's important that we support this program. As you know, that we've been doing this and we're trying to hit the streets. Here we down live in Philly. Let me tell you, if we didn't have to get up so early in the morning, I'd be out on the street.
Tomorrow's the big day. What we worked hard for.
Yeah. So let me tell you, I mean, and then I really, really want to say thank you to Tony and Rose for coming and just taking this opportunity. This shows just how much it really means to you, because you could easily just sit back and say, okay, well, it's not necessary for me to speak my piece.
Can't stop.
No, I think it's a good experience. Everybody should try something like this once. It does give you a different perspective, no matter where you come from and what your background is. This is an experience I'll take home with me.
Yeah.
Okay, I have never done this before. This was the first time, and I mean, because of all the people that I work with, honestly, they got me through this. I can't even say I did. They got me through this. There were many a nights you go home and you're tired from what you do, and doors slammed in your face, and people telling you off all day. It's a tough thing, and then you got to go home at the end of the day and you got to let that go. So tomorrow you get up and it's a new experience. You go out there with a positive attitude.
But that's, what? And Rose, I just think about what you just said. So you can go to your resting place after doors been shut, people talk mean to you. Not everybody.
No, some are so sweet.
Some people are sweet, but I'm talking about you have to go, and then you got to get back up and go with a positive attitude to try to get out there to make a difference. That got to say something about you as a person.
Well, at first you got to toughen up. Okay, get a little thicker skin, because when I first came here, I wasn't used to doors being slammed in my face. And it was like a shocker, But then you realize it's not you. You know what? It's not you. It's whatever is going on in their life. This is how they handle it, They don't want to open the door all the time and talk about things. They just want to stay in their own little world. You can see it, but it's our job to pull them out and to bring them back, because we need them. Without them, we're not going to win.
Well, me, like in the community, it's what it done to me. It built some real character. Being a black man and being called, nigga, we don't want you out here, nigga, get out of my territory, and standing up, because I always remember I always wondered how Martin used to do it. How could he do this? How could he fight civil rights, human rights, injustice in America, and still hold his head up and keep going and still have a forgiving heart? It's such a hard thing to do, but when I had the opportunity to be the bigger man, it made me feel so much better. Do you understand it? It made me feel so better. It let me know that this person don't like me only because of my color. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I'm going to be this color for a long while.
Well, the difference is it doesn't matter whether you're white or black when you're out there. I'm telling you.
Well, you see, both of us have been witnessed that.
Because, listen, I've seen many people. They didn't even want me at their door.
That's right.
Being white now. And I'm like, you're not going to bother me. I'm not letting this bother me. I have a job. You know what? And my job says I need more people to vote. And I'm going to stay here. And I'm gonna knock on doors until Election Day.
Yeah, America got to get better. America, we have to do better. This is not the image that we want to carry on. Come on, right here in Philadelphia, where our founding fathers was, along with Richard Allen, who were fighting for the slave conditions. He didn't want them to be under the same slave conditions. It's almost like we have went back 100 years with even more insane, the issues that we are battling right now. It is so immature, so chauvinistic. We don't even think that way anymore. You know what I mean? We know how powerful our women are. We know that we need our women. I do. I need them. And, about this for the men, I like to make a joke for the men. Unless you can have a baby, and come back and tell me about it, right? Then we need the women, okay? Oh, you know, gloss your mind, you know. We need that nurturing spirit along with us. You know, without my mother, I don't know where I would have been. Without my grandmother, I don't know where I'd been. Yes, my father was there, but I needed both. I need both of them. I needed those two women. So, you know, they played a major part in my life. I mean, you know, America, come on, you gotta have respect. I hold our women to the highest regard. I hold you to the highest regard and respect that I possibly can, Miss Rose.
Listen, Tony, I respect you too. I mean, I've been working with you for 4 months, and I don't know. I just say we got a great friendship here. You know, it's the one nice thing out. No, not the only thing, but it is a feature to this campaign. Okay, I've made some great friends, and you know what? From day one, I came here, and not once did I ever feel like I wasn't needed or wanted. I mean, the brotherhood and the sisterhood here, it's unbelievable. This union is amazing that way.
That's what, again, but we talking about just overall everyone. We have to change our way that we're dealing with each other. It's imperative for us to get out and become a part. Here, I took the opportunity to come because I just wanted to see exactly what my wife was doing.
Thank you, man.
Much respect to my wife.
Thank you.
With the sacrifice that she's been making. I'm going to tell you something. I will bow down and kiss her feet. I'm telling you, literally.
Yes.
Because
I agree with you.
Yeah,
brother.
I mean, it is so powerful, and I'm talking about not just with Rose or Zena, but I'm talking about it's hundreds of women.
Yes.
Women.
Men.
I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm being crucial to the men. We got our women out here, man, battling like soldiers on the field, on the front line. Do you understand that? That's what they're doing. So that's why I am so crucial, even with the men. I want to see y'all on the front line too. We shouldn't be the only ones sitting there. It should be no seats available with men. That's the way it should be. So I'm just calling all our men, come on out, and not just, I said all the men, you know what I mean? Come on out. Stand up and be a man. Take your proper place as a man and do what you're supposed to do in the community that will make things right.
You got to know this. Let me tell you something. In order for you to make a difference, you're going to have to let your voice be heard. And you're going to have to get to a point. I was out canvassing, okay? Now, I got to be honest. He was a black guy. And he said this to me. He said, why should I vote? I looked at him. I said, I don't mean no disrespect to you. I said, but I need you to understand that if you don't vote, you're doing more damage. I said, see, what you just said didn't make sense to me. And I said, I'm not trying to be rude, but that didn't make sense. Why should you vote? Because your vote matters. Because it's people like you that can make the difference. It's people like these individuals who are getting out here who's trying to get people to understand the importance of voting, why you should do this. And I'm going to tell you something. If you care anything about your children and your grandchildren, you got to get out and vote. Excuse me. As y'all know, it's People to People with Rodney Grimes. You know how we do. It's the People Podcast. I'm so excited. Let me tell you something. We've been in the transition because we out doing what we got to do to make a difference. And it's imperative that you make a difference too. I'm really excited about what I found out. I got a chance to see really what's going on with these individuals that my wife been talking to me about over the phone. I had the opportunity to meet Miss Rose. I heard about Miss Rose over and over, and so many other, Miss Sharon and a few others, and even Will. Will ain't around nowhere, but I'm doing a shout out to Will for real. I'm talking about
Will. Shout out to Will.
Yeah, you know
that's my neighbor.
Then, who you say, Lady Z?
Linda as well.
Okay, but I mean, we can.
That's Georgia in the house, yeah.
Yeah, don't be trying to hide. Y'all know how Lady Z is. She always, look, she got to think she got to be picture perfect all the time. But you out here putting that work in, baby.
Every morning we were together, her and Rose were picture perfect to me. I'm telling you right now. That's what I've been seeing. We've been doing this together every morning. So, it gives me great pleasure. I thank God for y'all. I appreciate y'all friendship too. You know
I
what
love
mean? It
it.
meant a lot
I'm
to
telling
me.
you.
Man, I love people who just being people. You know, look, let me tell you something about originality. That's all I want to be. Just an ordinary guy based on originality. And when you meet people
You
who are
are
so
not.
ordinary.
There's nothing original
This
about
is
you.
original. This is so original here. This is me.
No,
You
you're
know,
a one of a kind, Tony.
well, you know what? I thank God for, I guess I can thank God for my parents who instilled those things of respect. And they said, if you carry that with you, and I've been carrying it with me.
And you do a great job.
Well, then that's kudos to them.
Yeah, I told you. I tell your
I don't
parents
even
what
want
a
to take
fine
credit
job
for
they
it.
did.
So I thank y'all too for having me there. You know, this is a real cool, man, I think this is real cool there. Look, coming out of Washington, D.C. too. Yeah, that is so cool there. I had the privilege of living in Washington. That's where I started my union experience down at George Washington University. You talk about politics. That's where all the politics are, right down on Pennsylvania Avenue. So as a young man, it was a great experience to see how many people were telling the truth and how many people were lying. Well, as my father would say, you're not in Kansas now, are you telling me? And I'm like, no, Dad, this is not the Wizard of Oz, buddy. You know, and you know, I think that's a good thing for young people to broaden that rise and get out and see that, you know, it's a lot going on in the world, and you can't just stay in your community. You got to see how things are going on. You know, some of the folks out west tell us we don't know what's going on out by the border because we're on the East Coast. But when we get a chance to travel out there, they let us know things that's been going on. That's how we network, you know, throughout the country and stuff. Same with folks in Canada. They kind of tease us because we don't have universal health insurance. Can I shout that out there? One of the richest countries in the world.
It is so important again that we take the opportunity to do what we do. Again, it's people to people with Rodney Grimes. Here I'm live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I want to send peace and blessings to everyone. And you know something, a lot of people will see this program a little later, but as I told you, the whole purpose of the podcast is for us to speak about truth, speak about growth. We have a voice and a choice, and it's up to us to make that happen. And I don't want to be, because I'm in another city or another part of the country, that I stop and don't do what I need to do to show people how much I care. And I just want you to know we really care about you and appreciate you so much and all that you do for us. And you know, and I'm getting ready to start something over here that I wasn't ready for. Let me see what's going on here. Y'all got to hang in there with me because I got to make sure that I am not putting on the wrong music. But again, here we are. We're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I have my guest, Ms. Rose from Connecticut.
Yes.
All right. And Mr. Tony.
Baltimore, Maryland. Oh, via Eastern Shore, Maryland. That's right. Yeah. We just live in Baltimore, via Eastern Shore in the country. Country boy, come to the city. That's all. And, you know, doing some big things, trying to make things happen there.
Well, as you know, again, it's people to people. I just try to make it happen and do what we got to do. Okay. And I don't know why my music is not playing like it's supposed to, but I'm going to make it stop. And then hopefully it's going to do what it's supposed to do so I can take us up out of here. I thank everybody that just joined in. And y'all know how we do. And as you know, Lady Z is always close by. So don't think she ran out on us. And it's Motivation Monday. It's people to people, power to power. Positive thinking people.
It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about we. In God we trust.
It's 217. We all have one.
I thought it was Local 7. It was
217.
Oh, I heard about those folks, Connecticut Rising there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're fighters.
That's all right. See y'all there.
Y'all know we doing it. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see you soon. It's people to people. We love you.